We have some significant escalations as well as some analysis for why the strikes of yesterday happened. Today is the seventh day in a row that the United States has been pounding not only the southern coast, but now also central Iran, because the city of Yazd, as of 30 minutes ago, has been bombarded, and it looks like they're going after missile sites. So they're going further and further inland. I would love to give you guys the reason why they're doing this and for what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. I know I've been talking about it, but I want to concentrate everything into a couple of minutes so we have a good expectation of what's coming going forward. We also have a ton of other news going in, and we have alligrams as well today. So let's get started, as well as your usual Islamic Republic Haydar Durka videos. So, Armin, I'm going to ask you, why are they creeping in inland with their strikes?
I don't know, but it seems like they're getting ready for something big. Is this preparation for something big? It seems like it, or else, or maybe they're bluffing. Maybe they're bluffing, but I don't know. But this is a lot of military activity. If it's, I don't think if they're gonna go let this go to waste. What do you think? Are they getting prepared for ground operations in southern Iran, and they have to go deep that high to basically make sure that there's no support coming for the south? I mean, the bridges that they're
Exactly.
hitting are exactly the bridges that stops the support coming south. So maybe they go deep that the missiles from from Yaz and the midsection can't reach the Persian Gulf. Maybe that's why they have to go that much far in, right?
Exactly. You're exactly right. So, not only did they cut off Bandar Abbas, and we'll talk about that, but now they're striking this far inland into the Islamic Republic of Iran. We actually know that they also struck near Tehran a couple of days ago. All the targets are the same. Does anyone know what they might be? They're missile sites. They're going after anything that could possibly be launched from inward in inland Iran into the Strait of Hormuz and the surroundings. So they're going for the entire coast as a target. They've been degrading all of the defenses along the southern coast of Iran, which is quite extensive. But they're focusing on Bandar Abbas of all places, the first and the most powerful naval base of the IRGC and the most important port in Iran. So the bridges that they struck Highway 94 and Highway 96, leading from Bandar Abbas to the city of Shiraz and largely the rest of Iran. This serves two purposes. One, not only does it isolate the IRGC forces in the city of Bandar Abbas and its surroundings from getting resupplied, but it also does not allow for the biggest port in Iran to transport cargo and oil and other things into the rest of the country. That's quite significant, but why Bandar Abbas? If I'm a United States general, I would be asking this question. What purpose would it serve if our objective is to halt the flow of Iranian oil and to secure shipping lanes? What purpose does it serve for us to put troops down on the southern coast of Iran? Well, the answer is very unclear because they can largely affect or achieve that effect by airstrikes targeting the missile launchers and other such facilities. But it seems like they may be going in for the kill because if these troops do land, they are able to go in and take out these underground bunkers and missile cities on their own without, because the airstrikes cannot reach them, they're underground. So we might be reaching that point. And for them to do that, they need to make sure that further inland, anywhere from Iran Shah over here where they struck the air bases, all the way over to Zahedan and Yazd and Shiraz, none of these places are able to launch missiles and drones to take out and cause US casualties. I believe that's largely where we're going. I don't know if an invasion of Harg Island necessarily is on the books, but it seems like Bandar Abbas is going to be quite isolated here. One key thing about this is that I actually asked someone with connections in Bandar Abbas, are people going around this bridge? And last night they told me, yeah, the government just came in, they paved a dirt road with like a roller, and then the trucks are just going next to the bridge. And I was like, oh, okay, so that largely didn't really matter that we hit the bridge. And I think I found video confirmation of the same thing if I can find it for you guys. But what that tells me is that that bridge being hit was largely a signal because those trucks are actually still moving through, just less. And if the invasion was to happen today, tomorrow, even next week, I highly doubt that just hitting a couple of bridges, actually hit 5, but just a few places would be enough. They would bombard the entire area. Another place that they hit, interestingly enough, was the city of Lar. So that's further up in the coast, but it has some missile cities. Most of these cities along the coast have missile cities. They have bunkers, and Lar was hit quite extensively today, I think with around 20 explosions and rockets by the United States. But now we've gone all the way up to Yazd by Esfahan. We're heading there as well. We're creeping up.
You zoom out and show people where Yazd is on the map.
It's that green marker,
Yep.
guys, straight in the middle of Iran.
Wow, that's really high up there. We're creeping in.
So the first priority of these strikes
Yeah.
is to allow the United States to provide safe passage for ships. The second is for them to allow an extensive air campaign over the entirety of the country. The missile launchers and the anti-air defense have been largely created along the southern coast, so a land invasion is also on the books here, and the strikes have been creeping slowly inland. That's what we know so far. So it's becoming increasingly more possible that we land troops on the southern coast of Iran in coordination with the Persian Gulf Arab countries. Probably except for Saudi Arabia, which is actually looks like they're focusing more on the Houthis. We'll get into that in just a second. There's more escalation between them. So, in terms of what we're going to see happen, I think I've talked about this, but we can expect that Israel is probably going to be given a green light. A layership of the IRGC is going to be taken out. The Artesh and Qalibov is probably going to be untouched. More so, the IRGC commanders are going to be taken out as much as possible with all the intelligence that we've gathered over the past, what is it, 2-3 months now. And yeah, unfortunately, after that, Armin, I think we might be going back to the nuclear negotiations, in my opinion here. But let's flesh this out a little bit. So, the mobile transportable erectile launchers, the TELs, the rocket launchers, they come out bunkers for a few minutes, launch a rocket missile, go back in. Those are of utmost importance. Here's another thing, guys. If we're being wild with our analysis and we look at the southern coast of Iran, if we were to take it, and if we wanted to liberate a city like Armin wants, Bandar Abbas, arm the people, you cannot do that unless you have US troops take the city and all missile and drone launchers are taken care of within a range that can affect a city like Bandar Abbas or Kish or Qish or whatever. So this is absolutely necessary, I believe, if you want to start drawing the Islamic Republic to the surrender table. Looks like that's where we're heading. Here's the problem. Once we get to that point and we've degraded the defenses completely, we've launched the troops, depending on how successful it is, we might not go and draw them to the negotiating table for nuclear. We might be going straight for surrender. Here's the point, the most important point. You guys might ask, what about Russia? What about China? Ladies and gentlemen, if we take the Strait of Hormuz and we take the southern coast of Iran, Iranian oil does not get out. The value of the Islamic Republic to Russia and China is essentially zero. They will not come to its aid. And the Islamic Republic has been choked economically. They can't sell anything at all. They don't have control of their ports. There's nothing coming in. I don't think they have a choice at that point. It's either scorched earth for them or surrender.
Okay, Ali, first of all, there's one major change. This military operations, there's something very significantly different this time around compared to before. They're now targeting Artesh. The Americans are targeting Artesh. They used to just go mostly after IRGC and leave Artesh alone, but now they're targeting Artesh. What do you think that is?
I think I thought about this, and that's a great question. Guys, why did they leave the Artesh alone before? The reason is because the Artesh isn't going to go shoot the people of Iran. But if they land American troops, the Artesh will be forced to defend the southern coast of Iran, and they will start shooting at US troops. And that is largely why I believe they are targeting them.
Could it also be that they were holding off on Artesh, hoping that they would do, maybe because they were waiting to see if the Artesh would get in during Operation Epic Fury during the 40-day war? They were not hitting them to see if there would be any Artesh taking position against IRGC. And now that they're seeing nothing from the Artesh, they're like, okay, then you're going to be on our list as well.
I would have thought of that as a bonus, but if I were to draw my plan around contingent on that, that would have been a bad plan, really bad plan, to base yourself on the hearts and minds of men rather than what you can force them to do.
Or you could just test it out, see if they will flip over. And they didn't flip
Yeah,
over.
as a
so
bonus,
now they're
absolutely.
getting-
That would have been
Yeah.
such a great boon.
Yeah.
I just think that, these IRGC commanders are going to order the regular Artesh to go and defend the southern coast of Iran, and I don't think they really have a choice there. And a lot of them might even see it as America invading to kill them. But also, I just largely believe they don't have a choice. I think the IRGC will shoot these conscripts if they refuse orders or be thrown into prison. Either way, these poor conscripts are caught in the middle.
The IRGC leaders are just as evil, though. The leaders of the Artesh. Sorry, the Artesh leaders are basically the same as IRGC.
They are, yeah.
Talking about the body. Yeah, we're talking about the body.
You don't get anywhere without the IRGC's know-how.
Let me say something that is unpopular. I actually don't mind if the Americans go really, really aggressive and then go back to the negotiating table. I don't mind. A lot of people are like, no, don't go back to the negotiating table. Just keep hitting them. I think the Americans, if we go back to the negotiating table, guess what? We're going to go back to eventually military operations again. This is just ebb and flow. Like, we're going to keep doing this dance until the Islamic Republic falls, right? So next time there's negotiations, instead of like, no, stop negotiations, remember that the previous time we had negotiations, we had military operations. And every time you have military operation, if you think like, oh my God, they're going to go at it completely until the fall of the Islamic Republic, we don't know. They might be heading the Islamic Republic really hard so that the next time at the negotiating table, they have lower leverage, right? So, in fact, I think this back and forth is more devastating to the Islamic Republic than something being consistent. If the negotiations were consistent, the Islamic Republic would be able to adjust. If the military operations were consistent, the Islamic Republic would be able to adjust. I think the most devastating for the Islamic Republic is this constant hit negotiations. They can't adjust to this. It's killing them. Honestly, I think with the Islamic Republic, if it was just war economy, war mindset, okay, war, we're doing war, they would be able to deal with that more than this constant, letting go and going back, this tightening and then loosening. This is devastating the Islamic Republic. And I think that at the end of the day, at the negotiating table, the United States is humiliating and getting from the Islamic Republic certain things that it cannot get from it during war. And during war, it's getting things from it that it cannot get from it from the negotiating table. So I think both of them together is doing the most damage to the Islamic Republic. It's kind of like a saw. Like, if you see, like, at the tree, they keeps going back and forth. Negotiation, military attack. Negotiation, military attack. I think this is causing the Islamic Republic to fall. Like, we have saw during the negotiations, we saw so much damage on the Islamic Republic, in the foundation of the Islamic Republic, in a way that we did not see with military operations alone. So even if the Americans use it, because remember, we don't want just the destruction of the Islamic Republic infrastructure. We want the humiliation and the destruction of their ideology. So we already got that a lot with the MOU. Especially the MOU is now actually doing beautiful work because it's showing to the regime supporters that they signed something that the Americans now are saying, yeah, you guys didn't abide by it, so now we're bombing you. So the MOU was supposed to at least stop the bombings, and it didn't even do that. It didn't even do that. So it's causing the MOU to be even more humiliating. I think if you could get the Islamic Republic back to the negotiating table and make them sign, okay, here's our enriched uranium, you guys could have it, and then bomb them after anyways, that is better than just bombing them. If you could get to the point where the Islamic Republic signs a document that please don't bomb us, here's the enriched uranium, and then you get them to sign that, and then you show it to their followers, and then after that say like, well, never mind, we're going to bomb you anyways because you violated this line over here, over there, then that would be better than just bombing them alone.
They're being stretched thin, and I hate to agree with you. I really do. I really hate to agree with you, but the stretching that has been happening to the Islamic Republic supporters from that 5% to the 1%, and now it's probably even less than 1%, is undoubtedly a result of all of the negotiations that have happened so far, and not the bombings. If we had continued the war this far, you might even see the regime supporters band together from the start and not move. But because we've split them, we've reached this point. And the South is largely a very sore point for the regime supporters at the moment. Why have we abandoned the south of Iran? Why are we not going down to their fight? I don't understand. Why is the south of Iran turned into Lebanon where they can come and bomb it whenever they want? Why aren't we doing anything? Why aren't we doing anything? That is all I hear from inside the Islamic Republic at the moment.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.